How glorious you were in your miracles, Elijah. Has anyone reason to boast as you have? Taken up in the whirlwind of fire, in a chariot with fiery horses, designated in the prophecies of doom, to allege God's wrath before the fury breaks, to turn the hearts of fathers towards their children, and to restore the tribes of Jacob. Happy shall they be who see you, and those who have fallen asleep in love. Hello everyone, and once again thank you for joining us here at home. You may have recognised part of that reading. It is of course taken from today's Mass and is from the book of Ecclesiasticus. In some versions of the Bible it is known as the book of Sirach, and indeed it's one of the longest books of the Bible. There's very little doubt that it was written by one man, Ben Sira, and he lived during the 3rd and early 2nd centuries BC. He was thought to be a native of Jerusalem and dedicated his whole life to the study of the law, the prophets, and the writings. He was a highly respected scribe and teacher. In that reading we've just heard, we hear of Elijah, that great prophet who of course was greatly favoured by God. It was believed that actually he did not die, but was taken up to God at the end of his earthly life in some marvellous fashion. This belief led to a tradition that Elijah would appear again on the earth before the coming of the Messiah. According to the New Testament, Elijah did appear again in the person of John the Baptist. This teaching does not, of course, reflect a belief in reincarnation, but what it makes clear is that the purpose of Elijah's prophetic office was fulfilled by the mission of John the Baptist to prepare the people to receive the Christ. The entire Old Testament was, of course, intended to get the world ready for Christ. The future coming of Christ was proclaimed by all the prophets throughout the Old Testament. We spend a few weeks preparing for the celebration of Christmas, but of course God dedicated centuries to his preparations. Throughout the long history of salvation in the Old Testament, God was at work, patiently and of course wisely, directing events towards the marvellous moment when his Son would become one of us. When Jesus did humble himself to come among us as man, he fulfilled the plans God had formed long, long ago and opened for us the way of salvation. Our preparation for Christmas is indeed short in comparison with God's. That is why we must try to be as intense about it as we possibly can. Our celebration of Mass is an excellent means to, if we listen attentively to the readings and use them as a motive for giving thanks and praise to God in Holy Communion. When Christ comes at Christmas, he should find us watching in prayer, our hearts filled both with wonder and promise. And to you all, Thank you for listening, and may God continue to bless each and every one of you. Amen.